Hey everyone, it's Friday, June 1st. Hope everyone had a great week. I haven't posted any videos for a while, but hope to get back to it again. So I wanted just going through a couple charts. One very interesting chart. This is looking at a lot of people watch the energy sector. OIH is the oil service ETF. We've had a very interesting few weeks, so looking back at the chart, put a couple well, resistance lines in here on the upside and the downside. So week before, I was thinking that this would be a good area of resistance, so I just drew it across, came up here, tried to break through it twice, no dice, it totally broke down. Now it seems we're in a position where we're getting some. Maybe we're going to be forming a base here. Don't know. Only time will tell. But it looks like this could be a good area of resistance, and we're also above the 50-day moving average. So we're hanging tight in here. Next week should be pretty interesting to see if we can break through here or not. Looks like we wanted to. We had a pretty good bounce. Looks like this gap is almost filled here. I can take a quick zoom into that. Almost, not quite. So we'll need to fill this gap completely before we go through it. And there's not much of a range here, so I'm not expecting too much resistance there, but you never know. So here's what I see. So for those who like to trade oil companies, especially the service companies, because there's a lot of low-price service companies like DNR, Denbury Resources, and there's a few others like Weatherford and so on. Weatherford doesn't really correlate as well as DNR did. Next week should be very interesting. If we can hang above, if we can, next couple weeks actually, we should say, if we can hang above this particular trend line here around, what's it at? What did I have it here? At, let's say 26.49 on the OIH. If we can hold above that, we have potential bounce back to around, what do I have up here? Is up here is 29.51. So this could be even a trading range for a while until we can get some more direction on the oil prices. And if not, if things kind of go sideways, there's probably another level here. As you can see, there's a good amount of resistance around the, say 23 bucks, and then again at just about 22. So the only good thing that might give us a bounce next week, not guaranteed. None of this is guaranteed, of course, but it's just some food for thought for those of you who like to trade. We have a very low stochastics, which looks like it's going to be turning around. No guarantee, but this is something we'll need to watch carefully. If it starts to turn up, we can have a potential bounce back up here, and we'll see how it goes. Right? Only time will tell, but it's just in a very interesting position. If we can hold above, we could probably get a few bucks on the OIH, along with some of the other oil servicing companies. I do also have, and also food for thought too, like the crude oil index. It closed right below this trend line, but these trend lines aren't perfect, right? Oh, I'm just gonna bail out of here. No. You're gonna give it a day or two and see if it can hold above this nice trend line. But you just don't bail out just because we just closed one day below. I always like to give it a few days actually, as long as there's not too much volatility. Wait and see. I'm thinking that could be wrong, but because of where we're at, if we can hold above here, it looks like, I think personally, that there's a good chance that we can trend back up with this a bit. Not going to be a huge move, like $65.81 to $70 is not a huge move. But, you could make a couple bucks. So if you want to say, okay, so you go back to OIH here. Let's see, OIH. There we go. Say, oh, okay, well, maybe I can buy it maybe on the upswing, maybe like 27.35, 27.40. Buy some shares, see if we can do a swing trade, hold it for a couple of days, and if not, never lose more than 7% of your money ever, ever, ever. That's the golden rule. It's the rule that IBD has mentioned. I don't know how many times. It's a great news service. If you don't subscribe, highly suggest it. It gives some great trading ideas. A couple other stocks that are I have mentioned in the past. Let's just review Huntsman. I am out. Actually, I put a 1%. It wasn't acting right. I put a 1% trailing stop loss on it this morning and got stopped out. But we bought down in here, so we made a bit of money. I'm sure this stock is gonna. There'll be a time to get back in. Not right now though. Doing a bit of consolidation. Definitely not the end of the world. One stock that has also been creating a lot. If you watch my prior videos, a lot of interest, or I mentioned before, and a lot of people have been watching this as well, is Tandem Diabetes, TNDM. I bought this. I'm pretty sure I mentioned one of my prior videos. You can check it out for yourself. Bought it back around. It was 550, so somewhere in here, and look, totally took off. I almost sold it. Actually, it was down one day. I was getting nervous. I think it was over in here. It was down 7 or 8% one day. I'm like, and I did put a trailing stop loss in it, but then I canceled it. Ah, so lucky. And that's the part. Sometimes you're better off not checking out things during the day because things do recover. And the only concern I have with Tandem is this gap way back in April 2017. It is almost, well, I would say it's just about filled, but we're getting stuck in this. There seems to be some resistance in here, right? So the past couple of days, it's been interesting. It hasn't done a whole heck of a lot. Um, but we've got up almost here to the top, but we haven't broken out above here. We haven't had solid confirmation. So for those who have bought very low on, and there's probably some people that have, it might be worth taking some shares off. You never know. But the good thing is if we can get above this area, it's like the sky is the limit, honestly. The next zone where we have a pretty big gap to fill, this is over here. There we go. I couldn't see it. Is around $43. And that would be an incredible jump. From 43 to 54, that's the next gap that we need to fill. So this is one to watch. Would you put more shares on? Maybe. I mean, I don't think it'd be the end of the world as long as you had an exit plan. If we can get above this zone for a couple of days, and that would definitely be a good sign. Okay, so one stock. This will be the last one for today, out of many. That might be an interesting swing trade. Is Lowe's. Looks like we have a bit of resistance in this area. We are popping back up again. I think if we can get above, fill this gap here, which we almost have done. If we can, I would probably buy right above it here. We're going to be around 49, say 49.60. We could probably get up to low 50s or so. The stock's starting to build momentum. There's a good amount of volume from the other day, which is always a very good sign, right? We want to see those volume pick up on those up days especially. So, and I lied. I'm going to look at one more, so I'm just going to look at the diamonds. Actually, a few weeks ago, I said this was a sell point in here. This isn't something I just threw in here yesterday. We'll go back to my videos and look. We did have a bit of not a severe drop, but just enough to cause maybe a bit of concern. It's kind of drifting south. Nothing too severe, but I think that after we get some more direction, we'll know which way we're going to be going. But I don't think it's any reason for concern. And this is a good market for jumping in and jumping out of low volatile stocks that have low volatility rather, because you won't have, you go to work one day and you're like, oh, look at this back here. Oh, whoa, what's going on? You check the market, you're in a meeting, like, oh, look at this, crash, and then up again, right? So we'll see what happens. I don't really see. I still think this is a good um, resistance line. If we can get above there, we actually did for one day here and then 2 days here, but we couldn't hold. Definitely not the end of the world because it hasn't been too volatile. I mean, yeah, 200 points is a good swing, but it's definitely in the big scheme of things, it's not very much. Scaling, on a scale here. So definitely something to keep an eye on. We could be getting ready to start a new uptrend. Don't know yet. According to stochastics, it didn't get as low as I wanted it to. But with typically in the past with this particular index, it doesn't have to get very low to get things picking it back up again. So let's check this out here. You'll see here, it's like, oh, it didn't go down there. I'm not going to do anything. Okay. Yeah, it didn't really get very low here. Back here, oh, we had a nice little swing here. We had one here, swing, got down, swing up. It didn't really get below 20, which is what I like to see typically. So yeah, so this is definitely something to keep your eyes on. I think there is money to be made next week. So keep your eyes open. And there's a few other stocks, if I can get some more interest going on the channel, I'd like to mention potential setups and potential buys. You know what? Just for fun, I'm going to show you guys this one, Cousins Properties. From a swing trader perspective, it's a swing trader's dream. We're coming up to some resistance here at 950, maybe 960, 964, we'll say. If this drops back down, I would probably jump right in here if we can form a little base here, or even down here. We have some good resistance here around 8.25, 830. The stock, it moves, but you're not going to get broke, right? So you say, it starts to trend down. You don't like what's happening. Bam, you can get out. You're not going to lose your shirt. Of course, you're not going to, you're going to invest wisely. You're not going to put 50% of your portfolio into this company. And then there's definitely some swings here. If you have the money, you put 1,000 shares in, you can buy, if it's starting to base, you try and grab it down here at 830. Maybe you can sell it at 850. That's not bad for one day profit, $200. How could you beat that? You can't. Absolutely cannot. So it's something to watch. The stochastics on this is a bit irregular, but no indicator is ever perfect ever. And the volume has been above volume the past couple of days, so that's always a good sign. If we can get through this area here, it will definitely be a new level to bump up to, probably around $11. So, okay, well, listen, I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll continue with the videos. If you still like them, like, comment, subscribe. Tell all your friends to subscribe. JMB Market Analysis, it's where it's at. And if you don't believe me, go back, watch my other videos and some of the stocks that I've talked about and see how much they've gone up. No joke. Have a great weekend.